Thank you, Ken. That was very insightful and timely for our evolving marketing landscape in the region. Now, marketers face key challenges in how they strategize and measure the success of their work. Fundamental to that is brand safety and measurement. So how do platforms like TikTok empower brands to be safe while delivering measurable and relevant results? Our next two panels will shed some light on this.
Thank you, Imran. And hello, everyone. And thank you for joining us today on the segment From Tested to Trusted Partner, TikTok's commitment to brand safety. I am Clyde Nunes, and I lead the branding business for TikTok in Southeast Asia. In our latest community guidelines enforcement report, we've revealed that in the first quarter of 2021, nearly 62 million videos were removed from TikTok globally. And these were for violating our community guidelines or terms of service. Now, this might seem like a large number, but this is less than 1% of all the videos uploaded on TikTok. And this speaks to the scale of our platform globally and a low prevalence of violating content appearing on TikTok. What's more is that 81.8% of violating videos were found and removed before they received any views, indicating a low reach of violating content being seen on our platform. 91% of these videos were removed before being reported to us, and 93% were removed in less than 24 hours after being uploaded on TikTok. We are proud of these numbers and the reflection that they have on the safety of our community. We also acknowledge that these numbers do not represent 100% success in catching inappropriate content, but they do represent our commitment to action. TikTok is the leading destination for short-form mobile video, and our mission is to inspire creativity and bring joy. Our platform is a home for creative expression through videos that create a genuine, inspiring, and joyful experience. It's no secret that we have a captive audience growing at an unprecedented pace, just waiting to consume content. Our growth now represents billions of videos created on our platform monthly. And with that growth and sheer volume of content comes new and unique challenges. It also brings upon us tremendous responsibility. Responsibility to our millions of users who turn to TikTok every day as a source of creativity, joy, and discovery. And it's also on us to make sure that everyone feels safe and secure to authentically express themselves on our platform. This also includes the thousands of brands who have chosen TikTok as a place to engage their audiences. And we strive to create the most trusted environment for brands. Core to that trust is that we prioritize safety, transparency, and accountability to ensure you not only have a safe space to build your brand, but are always aware of the steps we're taking to make our platform safe. The safety and security of our community is our top priority, and we have a host of measures in place to protect users on our platform. At TikTok, it's all about creating a safe place where people can authentically express themselves. We work to keep our platform safe through constantly evolving our policies, and this happens through our moderation practices and through TikTok's in-app features themselves. Age restrictions to safeguard the youth, family pairing, user safety controls, safety education are some of the steps that we take to ensure our users and hence our brands are safe. We work very closely with an array of industry trade organizations to help us inform our operations and to help us push the industry forward. For example, we have GAM. TikTok is a signatory on the Global Alliance for Responsible Media Charter, which is also known as GAM. GAM brings together advertisers, agencies, media companies, platforms, and industry organizations to improve digital brand safety. We are TAG Brand Safety Certified globally. TAG is a cross-industry initiative to fight criminal activity and strengthen brand safety in digital marketing. And the TAG Brand Safety Certified program is the ad industry's largest and broadest global brand safety certification program. TikTok has received the Gold Standard 2.0 certification from IAB UK, the industry body for digital advertising, in recognition of our efforts to continuously raise standards and provide the best possible advertising environment for brand partners. As a young platform that is growing fast, we are just getting started on our journey as we strive to become the world's safest platform for creative expression. We're proud of the steps we've taken to ensure the safety of our community. We've made strides to bring key platform initiatives to parity with a lot of our competitors in a fraction of the time. We've highlighted some of the milestones as a part of our commitment to investment in the safety of our community over the past 2.5 years. In the slide, you will see key initiatives like our transparency reports, transparency and accountability centers, trust and safety hubs, policy and product updates, partnerships, as well as in-app initiatives. In the same spirit, today, I am extremely happy to announce 2 new milestones for us. We're launching our first-party brand safety inventory filter solution, a proprietary solution which advertisers can utilize to gain more control over where their ads are run and feel more confident on our platform. At launch, the solution will provide advertisers with 2 levels of inventory filtration to enable them to avoid running near inappropriate content based on their level of risk. These levels of control are based on TikTok's fundamental brand safety guidelines and are aligned with GARM's brand safety and brand suitability standards for high, medium, and low risk. We are also excited to announce that OpenSlate and TikTok are partnering together to provide advertisers with a solution for their brand safety needs by mitigating risks around content and helping protect their brand reputation. As a pre-campaign solution with post-campaign reporting, we're not just monitoring the videos, we're working with OpenSlate to pre-screen the videos so that your ad impressions are only served alongside OpenSlate's verified content. Brands will also receive weekly campaign reporting to see how the solution has performed. And this will include key metrics like ad impressions, verified ad impressions, and verified brand safe percentages. We have started offering the beta version for advertisers in Indonesia, and more regions in Southeast Asia will be covered soon. We also understand that the work on brand safety is never done, and it's a constant work in progress. Our journey has just begun. And with me today are 2 prominent leaders from APAC's dynamic digital universe. Introducing Pippa Burlocker, President, APAC at Reprise, and Poppy Hill, Director, JPAC at OpenSlate. Welcome, Pippa and Poppy, and on behalf of TikTok and our viewers today, thank you for taking the time to join us on this panel.
Thank you.
No worries. Hi, Clyde.
It's great to have you here. Now, without further ado, let's jump in with my first question, and this one's for you, Pippa. I believe Reprise has been engaging with TikTok since 2019. It would be really great to hear more on the progress that Reprise has observed when it comes to brand safety and TikTok. What was the opinion last year in 2019, and what has changed since?
Yeah, sure. And hi, all. Great to be here. Look, we've seen a lot of progress, I think, with TikTok overall as a platform, but also in our overall engagement and partnership with TikTok. We now have a global partnership agreement at a global level, and we're working at the moment on how we sort of implement that and what that looks like for each local, having a local partnership agreement in each market. It's actually this morning I'm having a very big TikTok morning. I was on a half yearly business review with the TikTok APAC leadership, which was great. Look, there's a lot of great things that are coming out of this global partnership and the ability to localize it. And, you know, it's really beneficial, I think, for our teams and our people, but also obviously our clients. We have the TikTok Academy, which is really about training our people and getting them certified on the TikTok platform. We've got a lot of pilot projects, and I think the overall concept of it is it's really about ensuring that our teams and our people people are armed with the knowledge and expertise to allow them to deliver best practice on the TikTok platform on behalf of our clients. And whether that's sort of in content creation and production and creating content that really resonates with the TikTok audience, or through media activation. But when I talk about progress with TikTok, I think it would be remiss of me not to talk about brand safety, and clearly we're in a brand safety panel, and we've seen huge progress from the TikTok platform with regards to brand safety. As you know, Reprise and Media Brands run the Global Media Responsibility Index, and I think I'll be talking a little bit more about that later in the panel. But on our last findings, and we definitely saw that TikTok got most improved overall, which is awesome, but was also credited in bringing the most improvements around brand safety. So I think you guys are really showing that you are very much a serious and mature player in this space, and that's fantastic.
Thank you, Pippa. And I've got to ask you this, right? So as an agency, Reprise has a broad range of clients that must have differing views on suitability and brand safety. Which concern do you hear most often from them?
Yeah, look, we definitely hear common themes from clients, and that is that they don't want their advertising investment to fund things like terrorism and hate speech and misinformation. I think it's not a one-size-fits-all, though clearly all clients do not want to support those kind of things. But I think when it comes to brand suitability and things like age gating, we do see some differences. So alcohol clients, for example, have much stricter rules and regulations around only advertising to people from a legal drinking age. Sugary beverage clients, I think the industry code is 16, and then advertising to children. We've got some brands, obviously, like Lego, for example, where the advertising to children, it's generally around 13. But there are differences clearly between different markets and different categories. But when it comes to brand suitability, I think this is something that we're seeing clients and brands get more and more passionate about. And the conversation that we are starting to have with clients is it really should be less about what they don't want to fund and more about what they do want to fund, i.e. fact-based journalism. I think brands now have policies and values when it comes to things like diversity, equity, inclusion, vaccinations, environmental standards. And I think if as an organisation they have values and policies around those things, then that absolutely should influence how they invest their advertising and media dollars. And we're seeing a real shift in this way, and it's becoming less, I think, just a price conversation and a performance conversation, although those two things are very important. But I think brands are starting to really prioritise partnering with publishers and platforms whose values align with their own, and partners who really promote respect and accountability and children's well-being, and who are fighting against the spread of hate speech and misinformation.
Thank you, Pippa, and that was very insightful, and I completely agree with you. In fact, at TikTok, we're quite in sync with these requirements thanks to partners like you keeping us in check. In fact, this goes both ways, right? While we screen user content, we run very strict ad policies as well. And this goes for every brand, big or small, on the platform. We're also built around safety instead of it being an afterthought. And we call it safe by design. We believe that safety begins even before someone downloads the app. For example, we are an app for 13 plus as per our terms of service. Once people download the app, our community guidelines immediately kick in and are the foundation for maintaining a safe and welcoming app for everyone. Additionally to that, we've kind of realized that we can't do this alone. We need partners and industry bodies to keep us honest. And this is where collaborations like GARM and TAG come. Our end goal is to protect our users at any cost. And what we've done is that we've realized that while we're self-sufficient with first-party solutions on our own, we could definitely get by with a little help from our friends. And that brings me to Poppy, who's from OpenSlate, one of our friends helping us keep our brand safe. And as one of the leaders on the topic of brand safety, Poppy, could you tell us a little more on how verification for videos work, especially on traditional social platforms around brand safety?
for sure. And thank you for having me on this panel. Look, for verification in terms of social platforms, traditionally we've seen brands really measure the performance metrics, is it human, is it viewable, the CPV, but more and more, and like Pippa said, there's a shift in the thought process in regards to measuring the quality of the content and the suitability of the content and the environment, the adjacency that brand appears within. So we're starting to see a change in the way that we do measure and verify, and it's refreshing to hear Reprise including that as part of their strategy. And we're seeing that a lot more, in fact. In terms of the way that we would measure verification across traditional social platforms is ingesting the metadata from the creator's content and then viewing all the creators' content, the video cadence, and looking at the quality, the suitability, the subject matter, and the brand safety. So we've kind of shifted from brand safety is a hygiene factor, and nobody wants to appear in content that is not brand safe. That just doesn't go, that goes against every brand's values. It's so important, where a brand positions themselves within the content, that's what they're saying to the world. This is what we support. This is what we believe in. And these are the environments that we're supporting. And it's become a lot more of a discussion around, as Pippa said, around what content environments do we want to appear within. So we can measure in terms of that metadata level and use AI to look at the cadence of the video and the creator and look at their subscriber base to, I guess, make it very transparent for advertisers to appear within the right content environments and having the brand safety as part of their hygiene. And we do this within consumer privacy laws as well. So we've seen a shift with CCPA and GDPR laws, and we can do all of this with ensuring that we're within the privacy laws of third-party data. And more recently, especially with the rise of user-generated content like TikTok, and we've had a global pandemic, we have conspiracy content, there's a lot of misinformation, misnews information. And with that rise, there's even more of a reason for brands to consider the suitability of the context that they've been around. And it's been very difficult for them to plan their strategy around their values if there isn't any transparency around the content that they can plan around. So, and also when there's no standardization. So since then, we've seen industry bodies such as GARM emerge with industry standardization and placing a common framework for the social platforms and advertisers to all agree on what is considered suitable, minimizing monetization in and availability into harmful content like kids content or sexually explicit content like that. So there's a set of standardization now that the industry can lean on, particularly brands as they work and develop their brand strategies around the content that they want to align themselves with.
Thank you, Poppy. And Pippa, I have to ask you this. Does this check all the boxes from an agency and client perspective?
Look, yeah, to be honest, I think it does. I think, as I've already said, you guys are doing a great job when it comes to brand safety, and, bringing in and partnering with companies like OpenSlate really just sort of demonstrate that. And it's why I think that you drove some of the most improvements, or the most improvements around brand safety in our most recent study. But to be honest, just to build on something that Poppy said, I'm finding it less these days about a brand safety conversation. I think it's assumed that clients and brands will be placed in brand safe environments. That is a hygiene factor. It's a box that is assumed that we will tick. And so therefore it's really moving into a brand suitability conversation. So when things like terrorism, hate speech, misinformation, no brand wants part of that, but putting that aside, I think generally when we talk about brand safety, it's not necessarily a brand safety issue. It's more about content that is inappropriate for the page. So to give you an example, I think when it comes to, a natural disaster, for example, and, if we see any kind of, God forbid, natural disaster, if an insurance company advertises around that and they're trying to sell policies in a natural disaster, then that would be embarrassing. I think there would be a million memes that come out about that and it wouldn't be well received. But if they have really appropriate creative and content and messaging that sort of communicates their support in this time, that gives a phone number to contact, makes it as easy as possible for people to reach out, how they can help, then I think that is something that everyone will be really comfortable with and is potentially a really positive brand impact. So it really comes back to just ensuring the messaging and the creative that we're putting out in market is appropriate for the page and the context and the time.
Got it. And I think the thing with the video landscape is that it's really changing very quickly. Right. So given OpenSlate's expertise in the social video space, especially around brand safety, Poppy, what are the challenges that you foresee?
When we're measuring just traditional social video, there are keyword targeting, along with adding a third-party verification partner like OpenSlate. There's also keyword exclusions that you can add into a campaign to ensure that you are running in brand suitable and brand safe environments. However, what gets missed when you're applying keyword exclusions is that from a video level and from the quality and the context, there's no measurement in terms of what is going on within that video. And so a good example it might be at the moment we're going through a pandemic and we're all being encouraged to be vaccinated. And so there's governments that are trying to encourage their communities to get vaccinated. And it could be an ad that says, get your vaccine shot today at wherever. Now that word shot might come in within the negative keyword. And so a brand may actually miss out on appearing within, a brand might appear to miss out on an environment that they want to align themselves with. I think I'm getting this all wrong now. So the image is really important. So if there's content where somebody's getting a shot in the arm or somebody's holding a gun and the title is shot, then they're very, very different contents. And brands don't want to align themselves, or they want to make sure that there's transparency around the environments that they want to align with. And you can really only do that through machine learning technology such as OpenSlate. When it comes to UGC or platforms like TikTok, the content is user generated, so it's live feeds constantly updating and refreshing. That actually adds a little bit more of a challenge because that you can't actually apply any keyword targeting from this perspective. So it requires an extra level of care of vetting the videos one by one. And the solution that we've developed for TikTok includes a human curation element to ensure that the environments are brand safe. And this is an additional moderation. This is in addition to the TikTok brand safety moderation. So this is just providing an extra level, I guess, more of that transparency for brands to plan their campaigns around.
And if I can just add on, I would absolutely agree with the machine learning importance. I think as an agency, we are moving away from purely a negative keyword approach when it comes to excluding content. And I think the example of the word shot is perfect. You can shoot a goal, obviously the vaccination shot, and then it means something very different when we're talking about a gun. So, bringing that sort of AI machine learning sort of algorithm that will really measure the sentiment of the page rather than just looking at a pure keyword approach, I think is really important.
Absolutely. I think in today's day and age, context plays a very important role when it comes to content. And like I said earlier, I think we do get by with a little help from our friends, right? And Pippa, I recollect you telling us about Reprise and what they're doing, especially in the brand safety space. How can we collaborate with industry bodies to bring in structure and a robust framework to mitigate the ambiguity around brand safety, not only in general, but also with suitability in particular?
Yeah, look, this is something that actually Reprise and media brands as a whole are really passionate about. And if I can say it, I think we're taking a market leadership position here. Look, one of the reasons that I joined Reprise, and I'm only 5 weeks in, I'm a bit of a newbie, but is because I was so impressed by the Media Responsibility Index that they run at a global level. And the Media Responsibility Index was born off the back of the boycott of a global social platform, and our view as an organisation that we thought the calls to boycott that social platform were fair, but they were also likely fair of other social media platforms, and ergo the Media Responsibility Index was born. And for those who don't know, it is a study that we run every 6 months. It's 330 questions. It's directed at the moment at social media platforms, although we are looking to move beyond that to news sites and partners. And it's revolved around 10 core principles. And I'm not going to remember all 10 right now, but things like promoting respect and accountability and brand safety and children's well-being, and no hate speech, no misinformation, etc. And, it's really designed to set sort of a benchmark for the industry, and to Poppy's point earlier, to create some sort of standardization, a way of measuring and comparing and contrasting the different social media platforms. And I think just bring these things, these sort of core principles into the conversation and really push our industry to proactively correct some of the challenges that we've had in this space. So, to come back to your industry body question, Clyde, we are seeing this really picked up and embraced by the industry bodies. The 4As in the US have sort of taken on the Media Responsibility Index verbatim, which is fantastic. We've been endorsed by GARM, which is great. And from my perspective, what I really love about it is that we're seeing it actually drive change within our industry, which is excellent. I think our industry has a pretty bad reputation. Sometimes we get a bad rap with being a force for good in society and our impact on society. And so, we're seeing through the Media Responsibility Index, the platforms actually take the recommendations and make changes to their platform, to their algorithms, to their product. We're seeing hate speech being found and deleted, misinformation being deleted, and to be able to be a bit of a force for good for society, to proactively be moving things in the right direction, is an excellent thing to be part of, and something I'm really proud of.
Absolutely. I think the more the merrier, definitely, and we can't be too safe in those areas, right? So thank you, Poppy and Pippa, for sharing with us from your experiences. And also thank you, everyone, for taking the time to explore TikTok's commitment to brand safety today. Thank you to all our viewers. Over to Balendu, who's going to talk about delivering advertiser joy with measurement.